from transgressing cases of pigel. I will say, just to end off, Hashem Davar Kodesh says that everything that occurs in the world, right, everything that we see and everything that we hear, we're supposed to see and we're supposed to hear. Right? That's in other words, there's nothing random. You hear someone say something, you were supposed to hear that. You see something, you were supposed to see it. Why, says the Rebbe? Why? Either because HaKadosh Baruch Hu ultimately, again, wants us to do something for others, wants us to do something for ourselves. Whatever it is, there's no such thing as anything random. Not only is there nothing random about what occurs in the world, but there's nothing random about what I perceive and what I see and what I experience. So we have to ask ourselves, what is the Musar Haskell of this? Right? What is this? Whatever it's right. You think about it again, by the way, just like the lead up to this was so dramatic, right? Just almost like a certain level of like paralysis that it engenders is so fascinating, and just like everything and everyone is overtaken by this. So what's the Musar of the snowstorm? What is the Musar? So simple as I don't know what the Musar is, but I think what we can take from it is as follows. The Navi, right, the Navi Yeshaya, says one of the most beautiful psukim. He says to Klal Yisrael, Im yu chataeichem kashanim kashelag yalbinu. Pasuk says, Navi says to Klal Yisrael, even if your sins, even if your averos, are as red as crimson, kashelag yalbinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help you become as white as snow. There's a tremendous hisororus for us. Because if the world is covered in white, if the world is covered in snow, it reminds us about our ability of hischadshus as well. You know, there's something beautiful when you looked outside your window this morning, right? Nothing's been plowed. You look outside your window, and what is it? It's like pure. It's pristine. And it's almost as if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is whispering into the ear of the entire eastern seaboard and beyond. He could start over. He could start over. No matter how much, right? And no matter how many wrong turns I've made, no matter how many poor decisions I've made, no matter how much maybe I've compromised the directional, just ischachus of my life, no matter what, so often we just feel like damaged goods. And today, when literally, again, our lives and our world is blanketed in snow, the Navi tells us, no matter how red your actions have made you, kashanam yalbinu. The world is white. The streets are white, our driveways are white. Everything is blanketed in snow. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us today, everything else might be canceled, but perhaps the one thing that's not canceled is tshuva. Tshuva is still on schedule. Tshuva is still possible. Tshuva never has a delayed opening. Tshuva never has, right? Tshuva never has, there's no cancellations. Today could be a tremendous day for ischachos if we choose to tap into it. And I'll just be mosif on that. You know, it's interesting, Moshe, did you notice when you were coming to shul today, how did you feel? How did you feel? There was a certain level of excitement, which is interesting, right? What's the pshat? Like, why? I don't know. Why don't I feel that way on like a nice morning when the sun is out, right? The birds are chirping. I'll tell you what it is. Deep down, because what you felt was Mesirus Nefesh. That's what you felt. You felt like I'm pushing myself to do something additional. I'm pushing myself to do something a little bit harder. See, when we say Mesirus Nefesh, I see Mesirus Nefesh, and you feel, or you say, right? That's generally like, Mesirus Nefesh is not generally like one of those terms. I was like, yeah, Mesirus Nefesh, let's go. Mesirus Nefesh is one of those things where extra effort, extra time, I'm not so interested. But deep down, we love Mesirus Nefesh. Because deep down, Mesirus Nefesh is where greatness is. Mesirus Nefesh doesn't come from easy. Mesirus Nefesh comes from difficult. Mesirus Nefesh comes, right? Greatness comes from struggle. Greatness comes from push. So we felt that this morning when you knew that either getting your car out or walking on foot, however you were getting here, was going to require a bit more effort. There is a certain level of excitement that comes along with that, because I will say deep down, the neshama yearns for Mesirus Nefesh. Because where there is self-sacrifice, where there is pushing myself, that's where the greatness is. So Rabbi say today is an exceptional day where greatness is possible. First of all, help your neighbors dig out. Help your neighbor. After you finish your own stuff, go over to the person next door on either side of you, help out a little bit. If you know someone who is elderly and maybe shut in, or someone again who can't go ahead and take care of their own stuff, help out. Help out. Make sure the people you know, not just your family members, but the people in your circle, that everyone is okay. Baruch Hashem, everyone has what they need. A little Mesirus Nefesh, one for the other. Mesirus Nefesh for our Ruchnius as well. We push ourselves to learn. We push ourselves to daven b'tzibur. We push ourselves to do the things we need to do, because deep down, as much as sometimes we don't like the words Mesirus Nefesh, at the end of the day, greatness lies in the struggle. Greatness never comes from easy. Greatness comes from struggle. And as the world is blanketed in a beautiful sheet of white snow, may the words of Ishayo resonate within our ears. No matter how badly we've messed up in life, even if our lives are crimson red with averos, kashaleg yalbinu. Today, the world, or at least our world, is blanketed in white. May we zochem Yirz Hashem to tap into the eschatros, to tap into the renewal of this snow, to become white and pure, renewed, and bali tshuva ourselves. And halavai, we'll look back at these days not as days of inconvenience, but days of incredible renewal, days of incredible Mesirus Nefesh, days of incredible eschatros, days of incredible